Welcome to Chad the Home Care Guy. Real conversations about aging, home care, and the decisions families face every day. Hosted by Chad Fisher, founder of Avail Home Care. Because caring for the people you love shouldn't be confusing. Let's get started.
All right, guys. Hey, this is Chad, the home care guy with Avail Home Care, and I am back today with two of my friends, Ashley and Stacey, that have in-home senior fitness. And if you've never heard of them or seen them, you're missing out. So here we go. Welcome. Thank you. Start off by telling me a little bit about yourself first. If you want to go first, that's fine. Just give me a little bit about where you're from and how you got here.
Okay. I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I joined the military when I was 17, as you know.
At 17?
I was 17. My parents had
They had to sign
for me because I was too young to sign for myself.
You might be the first person I ever met that came in at 17.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've never actually met somebody that went in at 17. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then, I was in school while I was in the military as well, too. I graduated with my physical therapy degree, PTA.
Okay.
And then I moved to Florida and I met Ashley, and we were working together in a skilled nursing facility. And, that's how we met and how we started kind of collabing about a gap in the healthcare system and how this all came about.
What made you pick Florida after the service?
So the weather. I was so sick of shoveling up my car for an hour and then driving up a mountain to go to work. I mean, you can't do anything, but for a quarter of the year, you're just stuck inside.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
what was your MOS? And for people that don't know what an MOS is, that's just what your job is in the military.
I was an 80.
Okay. Okay. Did you go anywhere? What was your duty stations look like?
Yeah. No. I stayed in the U.S. and I did the G20, which was wild in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But no, it was just mainly in the U.S.
What rank did you get out? You were a sergeant, weren't you?
Yeah.
I think I saw a picture of you with the stripes.
Yes.
Yeah, farther than I got. Yep.
So because I was in for 9 years, I'm considered non-combat veterans.
Right. No, that's crazy. Yeah. My run was short, but it's very full. Short time, but very full. I packed a lot in those years. I think that was kind of the reason why I decided to get out, is because I had already done so much in such a short period of time, and I experienced a lot of craziness. And going to Somalia was a really crazy time in my life at 18 years old, to have to be dropped into war and not knowing really what to expect or what to do. I think that changed my mind on a lot of things when I decided to get back. I'm like, how many times do I want to take these chances? Yeah. I'd rather kind of get out, and I've done this. I kind of want to get out and explore other things now. So, when it was time to ETS, I went ahead and did that. But man, I got to do a lot of crazy stuff when I was in. So it was a pretty wild run. So yeah, pretty cool. All right. Let's hear it.
Thank you both for your service.
Yeah.
I
know. Every time I see you, I'm always like, another military, another Army too, which is so cool. Yeah.
Actually, I'm a facial therapy assistant since 2010. And I did some traveling therapy.
Okay.
I was in Texas, in Miami, I'm from Florida, East Coast of Florida. And just came back to Florida.
A little less populated over there. Where at?
New Smyrna Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up going over there surfing all the time. Little house that we used to go park at all the time. And there was actually, I remember we would drive from here. I would probably skip school. I'm not saying that that's a good idea. But I remember in high school, like 3 or 4 of us, we would constantly try and drive over. If it was late in the day on like a Friday, we're like, okay, what do you got in your pockets for gas money? And so we would load the boards up and go to New Smyrna, and you could drive on the beach. It was pretty awesome. So what inspired both of you guys to get into what you're into now as far as joining forces? I know that you work together at a facility. Was it something where you just started talking to each other and saw something that was missing?
Yeah. So she's PT and OT, so we worked with the same patient. And where we were working was kind of a unique facility because we got to do the inpatient acute, skilled nursing side, and then follow the patient home if they were going off mental health, and then they would come back for outpatient.
Yeah.
Authors for each, segment. So we got to know the patients really well. And then, once it was time to discharge them for good, we would see the same patients come back because
Right.
what do they do when they're discharged therapy?
They don't do anything. Yeah, they forget about all those things.
Everything we taught them. That home exercise program just gets buried under all the trash.
That's exactly it.
So
Yeah.
So we saw a lot of the same patients come back because they fell, went to the hospital. Oh, there's so and so back again. A month later, after all that work that we put into rehabbing her.
When you start knowing them by first name, it's a bad sign, right? Yeah, the whole family. Hey, how are you? And we'll see you next week too, right? Yeah.
And then some of the patients, the go-getters, wanted to continue. And they asked us, why can't we continue? And unfortunately, Medicare
doesn't pay for it, right? Yeah, it doesn't. So how'd you come up with the name? Pretty simple.
So we were actually just texting about it. We could actually do this, and what should we call it? And then I think one of us sent it. We're like, that's it. Like, how can we be direct of what we're doing? I think, Ashley and I don't come from a business background. We're clinicians and therapists first.
Yes.
We're business owners second. And so we've been learning as we have been going. And I think hindsight, maybe we would have gone with something that you can trademark or whatnot. And you can't trademark a home senior business. I think
you can't, but you know what? To me, it's a great name because if someone's looking for something or whatever, it instantly just comes to mind.
Exactly.
You don't have to think about it. Right. It is what it says it is.
Yeah.
So no, it works.
Yeah,
I like that.
It to be, very, open, generic. This is what we do. This is
right.
What we are. And no one else had the name. No one else had the domain, and no one else was doing this. We got the name.
That's awesome. I think I probably had met you guys when you first started. How long have you been in business now?
9 years.
Almost 9 years. So that's us. I'm the same way. So we were probably brand new, coming to some of the same things around the same time when it was me going out doing everything. We got Angel and everybody else kind of going out there now, but I remember making a lot of early relationships. I think we're pretty much at year 9 as well. But those first few years were crazy, right? Yeah. We're going to all those marketing meetings and the marketing events, and it's overwhelming. And I'm sure just like me, you guys as well, it takes a while. And I'm going to say it took me over a year, probably close to 2 years, to start to figure out that I don't really need to go to every single one of those. I just saw you at this one, and then, at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, there you are again, and you're again. I mean, eventually that starts to slow down. You make those relationships and things start to move. So yeah, it's crazy. That's cool.
We are both pretty introverted.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning. So we went, she lives at CP, I live in Tampa.
Right.
We would only go to events together.
Right.
So it was like, who's going to drag over the bridge?
Yeah.
So we could hold hands and walk into it.
It's tough. It's tough.
I think before we were like, okay, I think I can do
that myself.
Yeah. We were young when we started doing me too. I mean, wasn't even there. I don't know how it was, but I feel like we were the youngest people that were in the room too.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing. We're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing.
But you had at least a background of the industry, which I think probably would have helped and does help throughout the whole process. I came in owning a hot rod shop. I remember my first time coming in and sitting down with somebody, and I think the way that they were talking to me was probably really normal now that I'm where I'm at now. But I walked away and I didn't know anything that she'd said. I had to go back and I had to look it up and Google search what ALF meant, IL, AL, all these different acronyms that I had no idea. And I try to just play it off, and I'd go home and learn it, but I had no background in it. So I know it's tough. It really is. Well, walk us through a little bit about a typical in-home session, what that looks like. How do you start with somebody? I know that when you're finding somebody, that's different, but once you've got them, what does it look like?
So we get to know them first of all.
Okay.
Whether we're speaking directly to the client or to the client's family member. We get to understand their health history, what their personality is like too. So we can pair them with a therapist and trainer that is going to work well. Because if they're not looking forward to the sessions, they're not going to continue.
Right.
So we need to have the rapport, the continuity. So that's really big. And then we also pair with a trainer and therapist who specializes in maybe whatever diagnosis they
Okay.
as well too. So once we get them connected with the trainer and therapist, then we have the trainer and therapist really take it from there. They do an assessment, balance test. We're going into checking for fall risks, identifying safety issues around them, making those suggestions.
That's good.
Absolutely. I mean, that's huge. That's one of the biggest things that we work on is fall prevention.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such an issue with for all of our seniors that, it's such a problem. It's
Yeah.
really detrimental. So we're taking those assessments and seeing what we're needing to work on, and then also incorporating their goals as well too. So we're not just coming in and handing them a dumbbell saying do 10, if their goal is to walk on the beach, we'll go out and do that. That they
Yeah, that's cool.
want to cook again, the 94-year-old, and she was a chef and she wanted to cook again. So we would do one day we would be in the kitchen and working on baking, which is a whole exercise for her, reaching
Right.
and balance and whatnot. And then the other day of the week we would be doing, regular exercises and walking and whatnot. But
Are you using stuff in the home that's like, if she wants to bake, are you actually like opening the cabinets, going down and picking up those? Oh, that's so cool. Never thought of that. Yeah, it's functional.
We can add those to childcare as well too, if that's not challenging enough for her.
Okay.
But each session is very different. It's very specialized to each client. So typical is warm up, walking, getting your heart rate up. Ambulation is a big thing we're working on, of course, but maybe they have an assistive device for training them on that. Regular exercises, stretches, balance training, and then cool down. But we also do aquatic fitness as well too.
Oh, really?
So if our client has a pool or a limited facility that's a pool, we'll get into with them.
Really? That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that full resistance constantly.
Good on their joints.
Yeah.
So also spinal issues too. We have some people who get in the pool who may not be able to walk at all. Maybe they're paraplegic, hemiplegic, and we can get them in the pool and they can do a variety of exercises that are not comfortable doing, outside the pool.
Yeah, I like that.
Seniors who have balance issues, that
Yeah.
putting them into a pool, it's like they feel more safe to be able to take wider steps and move around, so they don't have the fear of falling.
Yeah. Are you actually taking anybody outside and doing something as simple as just walking with them, or doing anything that's a little more aggressive than just sitting down and doing that stuff in the home? Do you have clients that actually will go out and crazy?
Yes, we do. So we actually work with a huge variety of clients. So
Okay. Not just seniors, or is it all seniors? Okay.
Speaking of pool, we had a younger girl in her 20s, kind of horrible car accident, so she had a traumatic brain injury. And there's really not many companies that are able to do pool fitness therapy-wise for her. And it was amazing for her.
That's cool.
But yeah, we work with anyone from, hospice bedbound, since they have to kind of choose between
one or the other,
they
right? Both at the same time, right?
And then opposite spectrum, super fit and active. Yeah, we meet them at the gym.
Yeah.
As long as the gym is okay with us coming in, we, do heavy machines if that's what we want to do. We had a 70, how old was he doing this one?
Oh, yes. This gentleman was in his 70s, is in his 70s, and a horrible stroke. He was not able to walk for the longest time. The doctor told him he wouldn't walk again, but he's up and walking, and he complied for 3 minutes.
Really?
But
Holy moly. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, I mean, we build up to that, but
Yeah, but
that's what he's doing.
yeah, that's wild.
He's still affected. He still has to use the cane, but he complied for 3 minutes.
That's crazy. Talk a little bit about, just real quick, about the differences between, you guys are private paid, you take insurance, and then school me a little bit, because I don't know. And you mentioned something that made me think about asking you guys, why can't we double dip? Why can't clients double dip? I hear that all the time too with hospice, when I just did the hospice interview, like, oh, well, it's hospice, but you also can't have home health. There's got to be a failure to thrive or whatever it is, that you can't have both. And I'm thinking, why? Why couldn't you have? The more attention someone has, the better off they are. And yet we've got these rules in place where you can't, overdo somebody? I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, but.
Yeah, no, that's why I loved listening to your podcast about hospice, because it never really made sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I think it's just,
I don't get it. Right.
the way that she put it was, it can't be curative.
Yes.
So, which is unfortunate, because we see a lot. In fact, we had a mutual client with you guys, Dale, who was on hospice because of his cancer diagnosis. He just needed extra comfort, but he ended up working for 3 years with us. So he lived 3 years longer than he graduated off hospice.
Yeah.
He worked out with our trainer Milan for 3 days a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know you're talking about. Can't have any names. Sorry, but yeah.
As you know, it was a huge deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know.
Yeah. So yeah, we are private pay only because of the obvious reason that Medicare is not going to continue to pay for therapy.
Yeah.
Most long-term care insurances will reimburse.
Okay. So you're like us. Yeah. Yeah. Cash pay or private long-term care insurance policies is the only thing we can do, but they're out there. We're finding them little by little. We find them, which is tough, because I think the way that premiums have gone up over the years, and I've met tons of clients now that we have that wishes they would have kept up, and they no longer have them. And it's sad, because, we could be doing so much for them if they would have kept it, but these premiums creeped up to where it's not affordable for anybody. And a lot of those plans, without diving too deep into this, but a lot of those plans were government plans or school teachers. The unions gave those plans away, those options for those long-term care insurance plans. And so those policies were used with people that were low to median income, and they were priced out after owning it and paying for it all those years. Now they retire. They don't really have that same income or means to make more of that. And now it's the Wild Wild West, where we're like, oh, we're going to up the premiums, this amount and this amount next year as well, or whatever it is. And so many people have said, well, I had one and I couldn't afford it. I had to let it go. And it's sad. It is. It's horrible. Those are the little things that hurt me all the time when I meet a client that really could use that. And now they are struggling to afford 4 hours, and yet they could have had 6 to 8 paid for. It's sad. Yeah, it is really sad. How's your business grown since launching? So you're 8-9 years in now. How was it starting? Was it a slow run, or were you still working your other job?
Yeah, I was still working. And our very first client, it was in Sun City Center.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Good job. That was awesome.
Are they still around today?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That is so cool. She's doing good?
Yeah. It was she was more of a rehab, short term.
Yeah.
Most of her clients stay with us for years, just for that prevention.
Yep.
Keeping them home.
That's cool.
Caregivers and out of facilities. But yeah, we've been extremely blessed with business growth. I mean, we were doing everything. Like, we were talking about networking events, running from, a breakfast event to going and seeing 5 clients, driving all over. I mean, I was driving to Tampa. I was driving to Lakeland.
Oh, wow.
To see
to
see one client, because we wanted to make it work.
And we were charging hardly anything.
Yeah.
People working for free sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to get started.
You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you really do. In order to build rapport,
Yeah.
you've got to do that.
An amazing team of about 20 trainers. So Stacey and I are able to do.
You got 20 trainers working for you guys? Holy cow. Yeah.
Our villages, Sarasota, Daytona, Orlando, obviously all today.
Yeah. Now, is that franchisable or just an extension of hiring to keep it rolling?
Just us.
Yeah. You ever thought about franchising?
That's calls.
Because it does sound like it's something that would be franchisable and be able to expand in a lot of different places. We need it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it.
I think what's
So-
great with us is, when you call in-home senior fitness, you're getting either Stacey or Ashley.
Right.
And I think
That's
a
cool.
huge selling point and comfort for the families.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're usually so impressed, like, oh wow, we're going, So we're not like on some yacht. Well, what else is right? The best some of that sounds great.
I'll go over maybe a couple of quick for my seniors that watch, and I do have several seniors that watch. Go over a couple of quick things that, and maybe this is for my mom. Okay, maybe a couple things geared towards strength and fall prevention that they can do at home. Maybe just a few exercises that you can explain.
Or, instead of send us an email or anything, we're happy to send some safe senior exercises.
I'll take one of them.
Okay. Yeah. My favorite, because I think one of the biggest calls we get is, oh, I was visiting mom over Christmas and I noticed she can't get out of the chair.
Oh yeah,
Very easy. It's just those chair push-ups.
I'll get out of it.
Yeah, that's great. With armrests.
Okay.
Working on the triceps.
Okay.
Able to lift out of the chair. We do a lot at the kitchen counter, so marching plays, squats. But you want to make sure you're doing it correctly.
Right.
Mechanics, so that's where we come in.
Yeah.
Because you can injure yourself if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay.
Especially an elderly person.
Yeah. Well, my mom does work out. I'll give you a plug. She does work out just about every day of the week. And so, yeah, she's getting ready to turn 83. And that's coming up in a half, is her birthday. So, but she stays extremely active. And she's constantly saying, I'm going to do this as long as I can do it and just keep rolling. So plays on tennis team still. She was golfing up until just recently. So yeah, really, really active. And it shows. People that have met her have told me, can't believe that your mom is that age. She just looks so much younger. And I said, it's because she never stops. She's constantly moving all the time.
Exercise medicine.
Yeah.
It's also, anti-aging, but also so preventative or hundreds of diagnoses.
Yeah.
We even had some clients that were able to get off of medications like for blood pressure.
Yeah. That's great.
Yes.
Do you take any of the military into count when you do exercises or anything like that?
Sometimes I do.
Do you miss it?
No.
Yeah. That early morning PT,
Absolutely not. I don't miss that. I'm later in the day. Yeah. I guess absolutely. I mean, there's a lot that I learned in the military, especially just that discipline.
Yeah.
Failure is not an option. I definitely take that into the business mindset.
Good.
As far as exercises as well too. I mean, you learn so much about your body in the military as well too, and that was even before I graduated from school. So
yeah,
it's been kind of a whole encompassing kind of lifestyle, just being active and taking care of your body. So
yeah,
I take that with me. Yeah.
Were you able to use any of your women-owned business? So you probably had gotten some benefits through that. Were you able to use anything from the military as well for starting the business?
Just some discounts on things that we're purchasing.
Yeah.
But like not.
Yeah.
But we get that. We do get. We get better.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
What's the workload look like for you guys right now as far as day to day? Are you still out and about doing all the marketing events and things, or
we are? But like you said, we try to be.
You pick and choose. Yeah.
It's interesting because even 9 years later, we're just constantly learning. We're constantly trying to be better, to grow, getting systems in place. Like Stacey mentioned, we're not business savvy at all. So every day, we're still learning.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think we all are. No matter what, you start to figure out your own business in your own lane and become an expert in that lane. But business is business and it's forever changing all the time. So it really is hard to keep up with different things. And even like the military benefits, we can always talk about that one day too, because I never used them as well, but I'm learning after 9 years or 8 years in business. I'm now learning that there's a lot of benefits out there for not only women-owned businesses, but veteran-owned businesses. And so there's all these veteran loans and like all these different things that you can capture if you ever needed it. And, if you ever wanted to franchise it, you might need that, So, yeah. Well, what's next for Senior Fitness Trends? Anything coming up that is changing in the industry that we need to know about? Or has exercise pretty much been staying the same core things? Or is there anything new, any new apparatuses or anything that you guys are bringing that you've found is like something innovative?
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because there is a lot that's going obviously with AI and technology, but we have found that our clients just want the old fashioned traditional. And we do virtual sessions, especially with COVID, that became a thing. But they want the hands-on rapport, the trainer coming to the home, and they don't want all that fancy equipment.
Really?
So we
That's
really
cool.
pride ourselves in staying true to what we've always done.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that too, because we have been seeing new trends coming in. Every once in a while, I'll see some reels on Instagram and stuff of, robotic caregivers and, all these things. And I'm like, who's going to want that? I just don't see it. Maybe it helps in certain ways for certain people, but we're not there yet. Yeah. And I hope we never are, because the human touch is so important,
Yeah, that generation, they're scared of iPhones.
Yes, exactly.
Equipment,
Yeah.
Scary.
The other point of that too is, with us as humans, we have the human, ability to see if they're taking care of themselves too. So our clients can be the only person that's seeing them that way. So are they eating? Is the food in the fridge expired? Are they taking their medications? Are they showering? And we're able to help identify those things and speak with the family, give that peace of mind that someone's checking in on their loved one. So, imagine just the mirror AI, whatever exercise bot, that's not going to be able to do all of that.
Yeah. I remember when I saw you just reminded me of that. I remember seeing that come out, like this exercise mirror. I don't see those ads anymore. So I wonder if they just didn't go the way they thought it was going to go.
Like accountability for it comes to exercise.
Sure.
Someone to motivate them, someone to hold them accountable, to keep them going. AI, something you're not able to converse with. It can't motivate you like that.
Right.
Hold you accountable. You don't feel as unaccountable if you don't show up to the mirror.
That's right.
Versus
no one's pulling you into the mirror.
Your trainer shows up and says,
"Yeah, let's get off your butt.
Get off the couch.
Let's do it."
And the rapport is so important. Our clients are our family. They're inviting us over for Easter. So.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I love what you guys do. And I've had the pleasure of knowing you guys for this amount of time now. So thank you for what you do. I think it's awesome. And I love working with you guys. And anytime we can, I think it's well worth it. So tell everybody a little bit about where they can find you, phone number, website, either one.
Sure. So our website's just straightforward, inhopeseniorfitness.com. All of our socials are that as well too. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and our phone number is 727-300-3889 for the business line, or 813. You're gonna have to help us first.
813-492-4888.
And you can always give us a call, and we're happy to chat. Also, our email info@seniorfitness.com. Or you can type us into Google. You're going to find us.
All right.
Senior Fitness.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's another episode for Chad the Home Care Guy. And I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure that you tell everybody to go on and like, subscribe, and follow. Again, I'm on all the different platforms, and I love having you guys reach out and give me some comments, and I can always pass them along if you have any more questions. I will get you to them. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see ya. Have a good one.